What's going on, wolves? It's your boy Saeed. In this video, I want to talk about Nofap, and I want to talk about Nofap to imaginations versus Nofap to porn. Now, the Nofap movement is basically you restrain from teasing the weasel to anything really, whether it's to your imaginations or whether it's to porn. And there's immense benefits from just not jerking off to anything, period, right? Most of us have been watching porn since we found out about it, right? And nowadays kids are finding out about it earlier, which is, you know, fucked up, right? Like I didn't find out about it until I was 13. But nowadays I think kids are finding about porn much earlier. Like maybe, you know, I'm pretty sure some kids are finding out about that stuff at like age 10, 11. And what happens is obviously, the easiest way to gratify yourself, and I mean, if you're a teenager and you have raging hormones, then, you know, you got a boner every 5 seconds. So what is the easiest way to relieve it? You would go and jerk off. You just go watch porn, right? And that over time blows up your dopamine receptors. It just completely blows them up, because every time you orgasm, every time you come when you're teasing your weasel, you get an immense rush of dopamine, and you do it over and over and over and over until your dopamine receptors get all fucked up, your body starts secreting dopamine less and less, and then you have things like anxiety, social anxiety, and you feel like you can't talk to girls, and your idea about what sex are so fucked up by what you've seen in porn, because you're learning about sex from porn, which is anything but what sex actually is, which is, I mean, sex is there's a saying, sex mostly happens outside the bedroom, and it's true. It's the building, the attraction, sexual tension, the foreplay, all of that. You don't get to see any of that in porn. So when you quit Nofap, you know, after a little bit, you start to have a lot of energy, less anxiety, more confidence, your testosterone levels build up again, and lots of great benefits, right? Dopamine receptors start to normalize again, go back to their normal levels. You feel better, happier, sense of well-being, and that's great. But I think, you know, I'm gonna be here, it's a completely opinion-based video, right? I've done so many variations of Nofap. I've done Nofap, like I went for 8 months one time, just absolutely didn't tease my weasel. And then I've done like Nofap, then I would quit porn completely, you know, and then I would just fap to my imaginations, right? And here's what I found out. I found out that actually after you've weaned yourself off the porn, and for me the best way to do it is just to quit porn, like quit jerking off, teasing your weasel altogether, right? No porn, no imagination, nothing, until you feel like you have self-control and self-discipline. From there on, I really don't see the problem in teasing your weasel to your imaginations. Not excessively, not every day, right? Maybe once a week. I really don't see the problem with that. In fact, I think, and please don't quote me on that because I could be wrong, but I think after 7 days of no fabbing, your testosterone levels peak, and then after 7 days, they start dropping. Okay? That I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they start dropping. And I don't know how significantly they start dropping, but they peak after 7 days of no fab. There's no question about that. So maybe, perhaps, fapping to your imaginations, not porn, once a week is not a bad idea at all. In fact, you're getting in touch more with yourself, with your sexuality, what turns you on, and you are in a way mimicking sexual intimacy. I mean, your nervous system doesn't really know real from not real. Really, it's your nervous system, it's happening, it's real, it's now. And what happens if you start to just fab strictly to your imaginations? first of all, it takes you longer to get aroused and, you know, come. It takes you longer, which is good, because that, like, I mean, that's how sex is, right? Like, say you're with a girl, you guys have kind of been building a lot of, you know, connection and tension, sexual tension, and she's really liking you, and you're really liking her, and you're making a connection. Maybe, you know, you share the same hobbies, you start talking about different things, right? And say, well, you're with a girl and things are starting to get intense here, you know, you feel like there's a lot of sexual tension, and, you know, you start to kiss and make out and dance and all that stuff, right? Like, that's you're building up arousal. In the same way, if you're fabbing to your imaginations, you're not going to get aroused immediately. You're going to have to use your imaginations, and you're probably going to have to use a girl that you like in real life, right? Which is, you know, all the better, right? And, you know, you can kind of just wooze off in your imaginations and see, like, okay, you know, maybe imagine yourself, you're dancing, and like maybe you're touching her ass, and like she's running her hands over your chest, and you know, like you guys are just making out passionately, and you kind of just start imagining this, and you start to get aroused. You're in your body, you're in the act, but with porn, you're out of the act. You're not even in the act altogether, which to me is pathetic. You're watching two other people fuck. You're watching two other people have fun, and you're not even in the act, but you're getting off the act. It's a little bit absurd from the way I see it. But if you're fapping to your imaginations, you're in the act. You are the one making out with the girl. You are the one running your hands all over her ass, right? You are the one that's in the act, in this sexual intimate act, right? So you'll see that your arousal builds up, and you have to stay focused here and use your imaginations, and it'll take you longer to come, right? With porn, we're so wired to just, because it's just so stimulating, right? Like, so right away, like, I mean, you get how many, you know, when I used to watch porn, like, usually a minute, and I'm gone. Like, I already came. A minute, two at the most, right? And that, like, that's very unhealthy, right? That's part of the reason why a lot of people have premature ejaculation, is because of the way porn has programmed your nervous system to perceive, to take in sexual stimulus and immediately explode it, right? Boom. But with your imaginations, you're going to take longer to arouse yourself. You're going to be more in touch with what you like, what turns you on, right? More in touch with, like, your sexuality. And you're going to be more in control as well, right? And, you know, for premature ejaculation, you can do some breathing techniques and stuff like that. I can make a whole different video for that, to sort of dissipate if you have too much energy around your penis, and you feel like you're about to come. You know, there's certain breathing techniques and certain ways you can do to take some of that energy off, spread it into all the rest of your body, which is really what mind-blowing sex is. It's a full body experience. But what I want to say is, like, you can even use jerking off to your imaginations to be able to have better control over your arousal levels when you come, etc., etc., etc. So I really think that fabbing to your imaginations can be beneficial if done moderately. And you'll find that if you're just strictly fabbing to your imaginations, you'll find that you have less of a tendency to want to jerk off every day. Right? So if you do it moderately, use strictly your imaginations, I don't see a problem in that. I think that could be healthy, actually. It's just, what I think the problem is porn, right? Porn and self-discipline. This is why I think it's a great idea, if you're starting on a Nofap journey, to Nofap for anything. No, forget imaginations, forget anything. Forget jerking off to porn, forget jerking off to your imaginations, forget it all. And build some self-discipline and build some control over yourself. Then, you know, maybe after that, you feel like I'm fully in control now and I'm fully weaned off porn, you can maybe start using your imaginations, okay? So that's just my opinion on the matter, right? Check out my program, The Shredded Badass, if you want to get ripped out of your mind, bro. It's a dope program. Put a lot of work into it. It's very coherent. I got a lot of positive feedback. So check it out. The link for it in the description, in the comments as well. Other than that, one family, one love, one heart. I love every single one of you guys. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.